Hey there, welcome back to Science Flixtion. My name is Salim Suterwalla, and as always, I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Carl Eames. Carl, how are you doing today?
I'm having a decent day so far. I was able to clean up some things and start rearranging some stuff back here. I actually built that little guy right down there today.
Okay, cool.
Um, so yeah, I'm working on some stuff. Eventually, it'll look organized in here for a week, and then we'll be back to a mess like it normally is. What's going on with you?
Nice. Not much, man. Just keeping busy with work. Um, Continue to watch the that Ultimate Spider-Man show. I am on the final season. They've done. It's interesting. So they did obviously like the Spider Verse thing became popular like I don't know how many years ago, like for like media as far as media is concerned, not like this not in the comics, but in the media. And like there's been different variations of like shows or movies that have done the Spider Verse. And like so I watched that newer Spider-Man show that I told you about, right? Not the Ultimate, but the newer one. Right before Disney decided to MCU decided to axe it, and then because they're gonna make a new Spider-Man show themselves, but they had done a Spider-Verse like segment, and then they have like a bunch of Spider-Verse. They're like all the Spider-Man, or not all, but like four Spider people in that show, and then this ultimate version now I'm at they did a Spider-Verse one, and then they also have like the web they call them the web warriors. So there's like someone who is the Iron Spider, which is interesting in here. It's Amadeus Chow. They have him as Iron Spider for some reason. I don't know if they're ever gonna make him the Hulk in here, but or a Hulk in here, but that's interesting. But then they have also Agent Venom, who in the comics is Flash Thompson, and there's Flash Thompson in here as well. And then they have um, Miles Morales, who comes from another universe, and he's in Peter's universe. And then they've had like episodes where they've done like um, the different Spider-Mans, like the 2099 Blood Spider-Man, Wolf Spider-Man, or Spider Wolf or whatever, uh, Ghost or Gwen, Spider Gwen, Spider Ghost Spider, all these different things. That's kind of interesting. Like that, I'm just like because I've been watching them consistently. Like yeah, and even the '90s that they're Spider Verse in a sense too. Like the '90s animated one is also done kind of a universe did this across the Spider Verse thing too, where all this different Peter Parkers are, you know,
And one Ben Riley.
wow. Yeah, but I guess. Better matter. He's a clone of that universe is Peter Parker. That's what they say in that show, in the '90s one. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I just find it interesting, like the takes on those, and that's what I had talked about it, not to dwell too much into it, but like that's where Sony screwed up, like with their live action stuff, where they're trying to do all these like villains with Spider-Man, like without Spider-Man, like doing Craven, and they've done obviously the Vulture, or not the Vulture, Morbius, and then they're obviously bringing the Vulture in. But like they should have just done the different Spider-Man. They had the rights to those. Like
Yeah.
they're finally doing that one show that or I think it's a movie or a show. I think I can't remember what it was supposed to be with the Spider Noir, but um, like Sony's
Yeah,
doing
can't
something
remember.
with Spider Noir. But yeah, they should have just done that. They should have just done Spider-Man movies, and they could have made like a boatload of money on, and probably gotten a lot more. Like if they've done it right, they could have probably like kicked MCU's ass doing it. But oh well. Oh
Speaking of
well. It
spider
is what it
things,
is.
did you notice that the Nightcrawler is going to be a Spider-Man base, like,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
Yeah,
uncanny
interesting.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Uncanny Spider-Man. That's I was because randomly I get alerts on comics, what's going on in the comics too, as far as like the what's out what Marvel is trying to do with different things. And I saw that. I was like, yeah, interesting. He's gonna be Spider-Man for a little bit. Makes sense. He has different similar and I mean like he can like not that he can stick to walls, but he's very agile, so he's able
He
to
can
like
stick to walls.
is it sticking or is he just very
He can
like his
literally
like
crawl
his
up a wall.
hands. I know that, but I just thought it's more so because he has really good like grip, not more necessarily like stick.
No, he
I thought it
sticks.
was because of okay, it was a
Yeah.
stick. Yeah, and obviously he's super
I don't know
agile
why,
and
but he does.
yeah, he's just super agile and then like obviously he can the benefit that he has. Well, he doesn't have Spidey strength, but he does have the ability to teleport. So his BAMF. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, let's get into our show. So we have our you and I both watched Renfield. Well, that our main topic, if you will. We're gonna be going over, but we do a few other quick things that we want to update the audience on. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first fast flick, it is Jonathan Majors and Manager Entertainment 360 part ways after the actor has faced domestic violence allegations in NYC. Um, so yeah, that obviously that's something that's happened over the last like 3 weeks, I want to say, or maybe longer. I can't remember. That
Just about.
that yeah, just about. So you know, it's interesting. MCU's in a tough bind themselves with this because it just seems like obviously like charges were dropped, but it still seems very sketchy. Like, I mean, the lawyer dropped those texts, which don't make him look good. like, uh, about like the woman alleged woman that he choked saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have grabbed your phone." It's like, well, that's not a reason to put your hands on someone, but clearly that there's something else going on, and a lot of people within the New York Broadway scene started chiming in. It's like, yeah, he has a history. So like clearly the MCU dropped the ball there on doing background research. And obviously this is just a bad luck because a lot of pretty much the entirety of Phase what 5 is centered around Kang, so Jonathan Majors, and there was always conversation, always what started becoming, well, they should replace him, but then MCU hasn't. supposedly has no plans to do that at this point. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on all this in general? Like, obviously him facing those charges and with the departure from uh them splitting up, obviously here, his entertainment agency dropping him.
Yeah, so like you said, this incident happened a few weeks ago, and I didn't really want to talk about it because of yeah, it looked bad and it was public, but then like I think you just had mentioned that the woman had two written statements recanting the allegations that she initially made. So I was like, oh, so this is just going to blow over then and not be a big deal. But it still wasn't something that looked good just because it came happen. But that's kind of the point if you're like purposely lying about it, right? But if she's recanting it, then maybe nothing comes of it. But at the same time, why is this happening? Why would this manager entertainment 360 drop Jonathan Majors as well as his PR firm, the lead company also dropped him last month, and on top of that, he's lost a starring role in the movie The Man in My Basement, specifically because of this. He lost some endorsement deals as well. He was cut from the Texas Rangers ad campaign just yesterday. So it feels like there's a lot going on here for this to be just something to blow over, like something that's uh like if she's lying or whatever, it's like dude, we're missing something. Um Either those recantations are not true, or maybe that was just something they put out there to make him look better, or there's a video coming out soon because I saw that as well, someone on social media, like all this stuff happening sounds like there's about to be a video released and it doesn't look good, and they know it already. So uh, that could be the case. Again, we still don't know a lot about the specifics, so it's hard to say. But yeah, like I feel bad because I was really like rooting for him, and I'm still going
Yeah.
to until
Mm,
I actually get some definitive,
yeah.
like, oh, is he a good or bad? I'm like, but for what it's worth,
There's
like
enough
I've been
smoke for me personally. I feel like there's enough smoke for me where I'm hoping they drop him and John Boyega. Go get John Boyega to be uh king. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that online, people saying John Boyega. I was like, yeah, okay, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. I would be mad if they dropped him before actually getting any definitive proof that he actually did something bad. But if there is something worth dropping him for, then yeah, John Boyega would be awesome. I'd love to see him get another shot at doing something big with Disney. Um, but that being said, like I've been watching very casually over the last couple of months, I guess. I've been very casually watching Lovecraft Country, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna finish it anytime soon. But I really enjoyed that, and Creed 3 just dropped. Obviously, Ant Man as well. He's going to be in Loki in a few months over the summer, and then of course the big King Dynasty as well. There's time to make that change. I don't think they would change anything with Loki, but
Mhm.
if they were going to do something, there's time for it. Now, that being said, the other comparison that other people have been making is, well, what's going on with DC and the Flash? Like they didn't drop him, they didn't drop
Yeah.
Ezra Miller, and
Well,
this is
they
just
it's fair. I think the movie was already made. Now, if they keep him, I think that would be a fair comparison because there's no commitment to Ezra going forward yet. I mean, it just well, the movie's there, and we don't know what they're gonna do with him as an actor. I think it's fair to bring him up as an example, but more so, it's the movie was made, and then he started doing this thing. So yeah, the argument can be, well, the movie wasn't finished yet, so they should have dropped him. Um, but yeah, I mean,
well,
that's the thing.
that
That's
as well as James Gunn publicly saying that they are supporting him, like not just, oh,
Yeah,
the movie's done,
yeah.
so we're just gonna,
Well,
they
yeah,
said they're
but I
supporting him. Like
But I'm pretty
they're gonna keep
consistent
him
on
around.
both ends. I think they need to get rid of Ezra Miller. Like, I don't think just because
Mhm.
they one company is keeping a bad guy, that means it's fair for another company to keep a bad guy. I mean, it's fair to criticize that aspect that people are shouting out. Um, well, I mean, to be fair, people are also shouting out that Ezra Miller should be let go as well. And to be and to Disney's thing, they have not talked about getting rid of Majors at all. There's
Right,
no question, or they've not made a comment on anything with this. In general, they haven't said anything about it.
right. And
So
again, these are still allegations. It's like he hasn't been
mhm.
charged with anything. So I don't like the idea of punishing someone before them actually being definitively proven to do something bad.
Yeah, I just think for me, like I said, I think there's enough smoke here that I think I'd be more than happy if they got rid of him. And like I said, I was all for dumping Ezra Miller like long time ago. Um, like I thought it was like, man, get rid of Bozo. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, with it's not a the topic is obviously it is what it is with that topic. So did you have any final thoughts as we move on or before we move on?
Um, no, I think that's about it because I can't think of anything else that he was working on. But like I said, they are just allegations at this point until because he did he actually get arrested? I don't think
Yeah, he did.
so.
He got
Okay.
he got arrested. Like I said, they released
Yeah.
again. They were this lawyer released literal texts from the woman, thinking these were gonna make him look good. The texts were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have grabbed your phone." That's what like the texts basically are like excuse. She's saying like, "Oh, I grabbed your phone, so that's why you reacted the way you did. That it's defensible." No, it's like no, it's not. Like that's that's not defensible. Like because she grabbed at your phone to choke her. Um, again, like I said, I'm just I think there's enough there that, especially with a lot of people starting to come out in the Broadway scene, like numerous people have come out and confirmed that yeah, he has a history of a bad temper. It seems like there's enough smoke that there's probably a fire there, and I just I just feel like uncomfortable him being the guy going forward. Just like I said, the way I don't like that Ezra Miller is the guy going forward. That they need to part ways with him too. Um, but we'll find out what happens. Uh, so the next one we have is there was a clip released. I think yesterday. It was yesterday, I believe. There was a scene from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. Just a little short clip released. We'll play that really quick, and then you and I can give our thoughts on the little clip there.
I miss you so much. And maybe if you open yourself up to it, there's a possibility.
I don't think so, Quinn.
Quill.
Quill. I don't think so.
Well, what I'm trying to say.
Peter, you know this is an open line, right?
What?
We're listening to everything you're saying.
And it is painful.
And you're just telling me now?
We were hoping it would stop on its own.
But I switched it over to private.
What color button did you push?
Blue for the blue suit.
Oh no.
Blue was the open line for everyone.
Orange is for blue.
What?
Black is for orange. Yellow is for green. Green is for red, and red is for yellow.
No, yellow is for yellow. Green is for red, red is for green.
I don't think so.
Try it then.
Hello! You were right.
Right, that's the clip of a scene from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Um, they're doing a little like Among Us thing, like they're dressed like those characters. Yeah, it's just a little comedic, a good mix of like dropping a comedic moment between like an emotional moment. Um, I didn't see Raccoon in there, so I wonder where
No,
he's
he's
at.
not.
But
Yeah, he's not in that shot.
yeah, yeah, I mean
Or
it's
Groot.
or Groot too for that. Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, I thought it was a little funny clip. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was funny. I laughed. It was. I'm still looking forward to that movie. I'm glad that we're a little bit of a break from movies right now, but um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that and seeing how they end things. But yeah, it was nice and funny.
Nice,
It
nice, yeah.
doesn't necessarily seem like Gamora is going to hook back up with Peter because she doesn't remember any of that stuff because she'd never experienced any of that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's not even remembering. It's not. She has no like that. Her version has no connection to Peter Quill.
mhm.
Um, because she's from the past. So yeah, we'll find out what happens with that. Today there was a clip that we're moving on. If unless you have any final thoughts on that.
Nope.
All right, so another quick fast flick. There was a teaser trailer drop for Godzilla, King Kong or Kong. That they were. It's a quick teaser that we want to play really quick, and then we'll give you our thoughts on it. So that is the teaser, and I'm excited, Carl. I need to see more big lizards and apes fighting each other. Or maybe this time they'll bring more of the different the like the Rodons and the Mothras into this more. I don't know. But I'm excited. I'm excited for giant monsters fighting each other. What are your thoughts?
I know nothing of this world. I haven't seen Godzilla movies since the 90s, that 90s one. Haven't seen any King Kong movie ever. So
Yeah.
I don't have any particular excitement for it or have any
You're not
inside knowledge, but visual of I believe that what was Kong at the end looked pretty good. I think this movie's not coming out for another year though.
2024. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm excited, Carl. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be big monsters fighting each other, destroying everything. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Uh,
Well, I'm happy
that's
for
all
you.
we. That's all we have for that. I just wanted to put that really quick, just because it was fun. I hope they never stop making Godzilla movies and King Kong movies and just keep going with it. I don't know how long they can go with it, but just keep going. Just keep going, man. Uh, we have let's move on. I think you had something, or do you want to move into the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog news?
Yeah, that's right. So the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie came out around this time last year, and they announced they, teased the third movie, which I believe is supposed to come out next year, in December, if I remember, December 20th, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. But they are announcing casting for a Knuckles TV show spinoff that's supposed to take place in between Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. So this show should be coming out sometime early next year, I would assume, because their casting is still going to have returning Idris Elba as Knuckles and other characters like I can't even think where they go. Oh, Adam Pally, there you go. Is coming back, and continuing to play Wade Whipple from the Sonic movies and stuff. So that's pretty much the premise of the show as well. Is that Knuckles will be training Wade on how learning, teaching him how to fight, stuff like that. But yeah, this movie or this show will come out in between and take place in between Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. So that's pretty much the whole announcement there. I thought it was really um, interesting that they're going to do a spin-off show for Knuckles specifically. Um, yeah, they're feeling confident on the character and the whole franchise. And again, video game movies are kind of doing their thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. Like, we'll find out what the entirety of the show will be like. But I mean, like, I think you and I both enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed the Sonic movies, and I think you did as well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it'll be fun to see what they do with that for sure. Any final thoughts? We move on to the next fast flick. Uh, so the next one is a small update on the Deadpool 3 movie. They said Hugh Jackman, obviously, that's the big rumor, or not the rumor, but the news that broke last year that he was going to return as Wolverine, and there was a lot of questions on, what universe or what version of Wolverine is it? Is this Wolverine from these Fox movies? What are they doing? Is it a variant? What's happening? Now, they haven't mentioned necessarily like if it's a variant or not, but he's going to be different. So they're saying he's a divergence from the X-Men films, something completely new. Not like again, not necessarily certain like what that means, but uh, they wanted to they wanted to honor the X or the Fox X-Men version, just because that was such a fan favorite. So they kind of want to retire that version, if you will, there, and they're going to bring a different version here. And again, what that means exactly, we'll find out. But it seems that they're going in a different direction in a sense, at least with the way Wolverine is. What are your thoughts on that, Carl?
Yeah, like you said, he Logan Wolverine died in Logan, and they are keeping it that way. They're not resurrecting him, and it doesn't. I mean, again, we don't know exactly the details, but it doesn't seem like they're going to like jump in the middle of the timeline before he died and pluck him out of there or do anything weird like that. So the most likely assumption is like what you said, it could be a variant, but then it also begs the question, um, if this is going to be a variant over Wolverine, does it mean that the Deadpool that we're getting is a variant, or is it going to be the same Deadpool? And if it is the same Deadpool, then it means he has to find a way to go to another universes to get the other Wolverine to get a different one because they're supposed to be in the same universe already. Um, so I I always I'm kind of weary on this though, to be honest, just reading this, because like I'm a little hesitant, a little scared because it's already Deadpool. It's already a trolley type of character, trolley type of movie. And all of the things that they've been doing over the last, like, especially like with Doctor Strange and She-Hulk and other things have been really trolly. I kind of feel and I hope I'm wrong. And I don't want to make you feel bad, but I have to say it. I kind of feel like there's a chance that they might troll us with this Wolverine too. Like build it up to be like a big deal just to get us there, and then he's in like 2 scenes and he gets killed off or something like that. Like, that would be terrible, and I would hate that, and so would everyone else, but I kind of
Yeah, no, what?
they would
That's why I
do
don't
that.
think. Yeah, I don't think they would do that. I don't know. I don't think they would go that extent because that's good. A lot of people will be super, super pissed off, not just like annoyed, pissed the fuck off. And I think
Yeah.
people would actually shit on the movie and it would release and like the news would break and people would stop going. I bet you people would probably not want to go as much and it would kill the box office numbers. So I don't think they would do that. That would be a major moronic move on their part if that's what really their plan is. So, I mean, I guess the can't move past people to do something really stupid, but like
I can do
it would so
stupid things anyway. Like, I mean, in
yeah,
the
but
very,
like
very
it
least,
would
we know
surprise
that,
me.
like, I highly doubt that Hugh Jackman is coming back to play the role, like, for a long period
No,
of time in the MCU. Like, it's either going to be just this movie or this movie and Secret Wars, and that's it. Like, he's not going to
yeah,
keep going. He's either 60 years old or he's approaching 60. I can't quite remember, but
mhm,
he's up there already. He's been doing this for 20 years already. I don't expect him to stick around for the X-Men when they finally get to around to them like 4 years from now, uh, and wanting to actually be a part of the MCU's version. When also most likely all of the other castmates that he has had will not be joining him either. So he'd be working with a bunch of kids and a bunch of new actors and stuff. So I don't expect him to stick around much longer. That's all the more reason why, like, either he's going to be in Secret Wars, great. If he's not going to be in Secret Wars, then it probably doesn't make it out of this movie, right? I don't know.
right.
Again, like I said,
Yeah, I
if
think
that's why I
well,
think
so
it
he
might end up be a trolley thing where he's there and he's gonna wear the yellow suit, which could be just a whole nother thing. Like that's why he could be different. He's gonna wear the actual yellow suit or the brown one, and the whole the mask and stuff, and be completely different that way. Or they could just like, okay, here's the Wolverine you've always wanted, and now he's dead. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, so he's 54. I mean, not 60, but that's still pretty old, and I don't know how much
Approaching
longer. Like
60,
I
yeah.
said, I don't know how much he wants to continue to do that for sure. So yeah, I guess we'll find out. I'll still be pretty surprised if they're completely doing a troll job here, as far as what with Wolverine, because like I said, that would piss a lot of people off. You can't put that in there and then take it away like that. So I don't know. We'll find out. Move on to the next fast flick, something that was just dropped today. The rumor is that it's seemingly for, and it's regarding Fantastic Four, and obviously we've been talking about that casting for a while. When will they finally announce a cast? And the rumor is that Reed Richards will be played by Adam Driver. Um, that is the rumor so far. Nothing's been concrete confirmed, but that seems to be what they're going with. Obviously, a lot of the fan favorite was John Krasinski. There was also that rumor about Penn Badgley. Um, Adam Driver is an interesting choice. I think you and I were talking about this when they had when were you and I before the show, and I had mentioned like Adam Driver is an interesting choice by them. Obviously, he has a relationship with Disney because of the Star Wars movies. He came back. He was Kylo Ren in there. Um, but also like Adam Driver is like kind of polarizing because I feel like, at least in my opinion, like what I've generally seen is people either really hate him or they love him, like they really like him. Like rarely do I ever see like an uneven, like yeah, he's okay, but it's like a strong opinion one way or another. So I'm interested to see if it becomes official, like what the general reaction will be out there. Like it'll seem like I wonder if it's gonna be like a lot more anger than okay, cool. Because I'm not to say Penn Badgley would be a good choice. I have no clue. Penn Badgley hasn't really done a lot of major roles. Like I think he's done like a lot of things. Like obviously he's in his most famous current one is You, that a Netflix series that he's on, and he's been on a bunch of other stuff. But I don't think he's done like blockbuster movies. So obviously that I can't remember. At least I don't remember him doing anything blockbuster esque. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Adam Driver thing. What are your thoughts there with that announcement or that potential announcement?
Well, I have no idea who Penn Badgley is, so I can't comment on him whatsoever. But
Gossip Girl.
nope, nope, can't. I have nothing. But as far as Adam Driver goes, I feel like the only people that would be indifferent on Adam Driver are the ones who, one, have no idea who he is because they didn't watch Star Wars, or 65 because that was this year, or anything else that he's been in. Um, which he's been in a few movies since then, since Star Wars. And the people who have no idea who John Krasinski's in, who is, because although he is a very well-known actor, he hasn't done a lot of like, big budget things. For the most part, he's on that Amazon show, forget what it's called. And then he was in the Quiet Place or whatever it's called, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
he wrote, directed that Quiet Place.
Right. But still, it's not like a big. It's a big name that's not a big name sort of thing. So there's plenty of people that don't know who Krasinski is. However, he was in Doctor Strange as Mr. Fantastic, and a lot of people have already they were already fan casting him as that character, and that's the reason why he even got the call to be Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange, because so many fans wanted to see that for so long. And it's been like so many like fan arts where they edit his face on a Mr. Fantastic body, and it's like, oh, it looks so perfect, right? But it's been so long, people have been using those images of him and they expected that to happen. And when it paid off in Doctor Strange, everyone had the expectation that he was going to be Mr. Fantastic in the 616 in the regular Marvel movies. And I believe I said it when we were covering Doctor Strange, it was like, it doesn't necessarily mean that he will be Mr. Fantastic going forward, but it's a strong chance because well received, people want to see it, he looks good, and he's a big name, but it doesn't mean that definitively he's got the future role. And if it is Adam Driver, then yeah, that puts one, like I said, like we were just talking about, that's kind of the trolley stuff that I was talking about, where they give us this one thing but then they kind of take it away. And killing him off so quickly in the Doctor Strange movie, and then him not actually becoming Doctor Strange for future movies. But then also, uh, you know, people like say, Adam Driver, he's a good actor, but I don't know. Do I see him as Mr. Fantastic? Not really. But I mean, he can always cut his hair and put a little white streak on the side. I don't know what he's going to look like, and looks aren't everything. So I don't really care if he isn't born to play this role. He just, as long as he's a good actor, which he is, I respect his work for what it's worth. And it's just a rumor. People are discussing and saying that he's like negotiating something, but it's just a rumor, so we don't know if it's actually going to happen. But they should be announcing. I think, is D23 this year? Are they doing a D23 this year? Because I would think they would announce it there.
I don't know. D23. Let's take a look.
D23 Expo is happening September 9th. So yeah, I would think
Yeah.
it would either happen at Comic-Con this summer or at D23 in September, that they would announce the cast for Fantastic Four, because they're not going to do it anytime soon. So either July or September, we'll know something.
Yeah, definitely. We'll find out for sure. That's it all for Fast Flicks. Let's get into our main topic of conversation, and that is the movie Renfield. Both you and I saw it. We do have a trailer for it, so we'll go ahead and play that first, and then we will give our thoughts on the movie itself.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
Why don't you start by telling us what brought you here?
My boss, he's different.
You can't get him out of your head.
No.
I need your assistance.
I'm coming, master!
Oh, you feel like he could destroy you with the snap of his fingers.
Wouldn't even need to snap. Okay.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, what?
Renfield, bringing innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again.
But this modern world is a dangerous place.
Thank you. You saved my life. Did I watch you cut a guy with a decorative serving platter?
It's all in the wrist. Let me explain.
My boss gave me this power. In return, I tend to his needs, including care, feeding.
You bring in people to eat? You're like the guy that gets the villain's Postmates.
But if you were to stop focusing on his needs, what would happen?
He won't grow to full power.
Exactly. He won't grow to full power. What? That's so weird. Why would you phrase it like that? But yes. Hi. Are you here for the meeting? Well, come on. No!
Some call me the Dark One. Others, the Lord of Death. To most, I am Dracula.
Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Now, let's eat.
Okay, so that is the trailer for Renfield. Yeah, let's get into the thoughts on the movie itself. Carl, I'll let you go first. What did you think of the movie after you watched it walking out of the theater? No, you're muted.
My bad. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. The over the top action and comedy, like excessive uh blood and gore, and then yeah, a little gory, yeah. Just over the top stuff. Is really fun and refreshing. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen something like that. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's not a serious movie. It's literally a comedy. It's not a horror, so it's nothing scary. It's not nothing serious. I mean, it's literally Nick Cage, giving him the opportunity to be Nick Cage. Which, if you're gonna give us like, hey, we're gonna make a Dracula movie or movie with Dracula, but he's gonna be really over the top, and the comedy is over the top. Who better than Nick Cage to be Dracula? Because he is an over the top actor. He has that kind of style, and it works really well. Like, he is a great Dracula in this movie, and it's not even him. Like, he's not making jokes. He just is an over the top personality, both as the actor and in this character. So it works super well. The prosthetics and stuff look pretty decent as well. It wasn't like high end, but it looks fine. It works again for me. One thing that I did hear and see that the style, like you see Dracula with the rings and the hat and stuff like that, his fashion was taken straight from David Bowie. So David Bowie was the
Oh,
inspiration
nice.
for how Dracula looks in this movie. So I thought that was really cool, and again, works really well given the over the top nature of the movie and of the character, stuff like that. But I had a lot of fun. It's probably the funnest movie, that and like last week watching Mario. Those are probably the two funnest movies I've watched this year. And probably my two favorite movies that I've watched this year. I would say, which is a shame because I know it's not doing all that well, like performance wise. People are skipping this, I guess. Didn't have a big opening week, but I would recommend it. Yeah. In general, like, do you need to go to the theater to watch it? Not necessarily. There's probably very few movies that are just must see in a theater, movies that are coming out this year. This is not one of those, but in the very least, I would recommend anyone to watch this movie if they just want to throw something on and have some fun and see some over the top gore, over the top violence, or over the top comedy. It's not anything too yeah, it's nothing like it. Sure, you may not want to show this to your kids, but at the same time, it's so over the top and comical that it's not like you should take it too serious either. So Yeah, I really liked it a lot. Nicholas Holt did a mighty fine job. I thought he was good. Aquafina. This is actually probably one of my favorite movies with Aquafina, or with of her performances, her acting and comedy and stuff. Um, so yeah, I really liked her a lot too. Um, it works really well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like it's almost a how to say a good bad movie, like because of the over the top stuff.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I was very satisfied watching it. It was like this is pretty good. Like as I'm watching it, a lot of this stuff happening. Yeah, to your point, Nicolas Cage is as Count Dracula does not disappoint. Like the emotional anger, range, loneliness, everything that he shows, the happiness of the character is really good. Like it almost gives like a Bela Lugosi Dracula type of gown, like the way I know you said David Bowie, but like it also kind of gave that Bela Lugosi feel of the Dracula. Um, Obviously, like the whole costume is really great. The teeth, the way they are, and it's just funny to me. Like there's scenes in the movie where he's among the general public, and it's kind of funny. Like how come people are not freaking out seeing this dude? Like, like if I saw someone walking in to the room look like that, I'd be like, "What the hell is wrong with this dude? I'm getting out of here." Like, like
Mhm.
the
Yeah, they
teeth
didn't
are
even
not
really
normal.
like.
Like a
Yeah, they didn't even really freak out about vampires or anything in general. It's like, oh, it's Dracula, but they didn't freak out about like vampires existing. So it's just like
right, right.
it was more like, oh, it's the vampire.
Right. So yeah, he was great. And like you said, I like Nicolas Cage in general. I'm a fan of his. Like like I know like he's done a crap ton of movies, but I like Nick Cage. He's a fun actor, and I think he knows who he is as an actor, so he kind of searches those roles now, and he does good stuff and has a fun time with them. Nicholas Holt, like you said, I really enjoyed him. The good casting choice. The way he portrayed the character, it wasn't like the usual portrayal of being like this mad in the mind, like when they show like the familiar for the vampires or Dracula, they're usually like these crazies. He's not that. They switch it up in here. Obviously, they do more of like a uh, s- um, is it like Stockholm syndrome esque in a sense? I don't know if that's a correct way to say it, but yeah, he's more like you know in a toxic. Yeah, I guess. Well, they show it in like a toxic relationship, like um so like the fear, the sadness, like the guilt that he shows, it's like really good. Like the way he portrays, he's really good in here. Um Aquafina, like you said, was fun. She has like a very awkwardness to her in here. And I mean, she's kind of awkward in other movies too, a little bit, but not as like some like the other movies I've seen of her. I haven't seen everything, so I saw her and she was in the Ocean's 8, like the all women's cast Ocean's 8. She's different in there, and Sung-Chi, I guess she's not that awkward in Sung-Chi. She's just like, she is what she is in there. But yeah, she was a little bit more like maybe a little bit more awkward in here, and I think that's was meant to be, especially with that one scene where she's like talking to her sister in the hallway, and,
Mhm.
and then they're walking apart, and she keeps like
Right.
awkwardly looking back, like walks a couple of steps, looks back awkwardly. It was kind of funny. But yeah, she's really fun in this movie. Um, my guy Ben Schwartzman, John Ralphio, aka John Ralphio,
Mhm.
is the one of the antagonists in here. He
Well, I was
was awesome.
completely surprised by that when because I don't I just watching the trailer. His like one frame of his head is in this trailer, and that's it. So I didn't know at all that he was in this movie. So when he walked out, I was like, oh shoot, Ben Schwartz.
Right. Yeah. He was Schwartz, not Schwartzman. Schwartz. That's right. I love because obviously Parks and Recs is it's a huge favorite of mine, and he's John Ralphio in that. Uh, and he's just an awesome character in there. And obviously he does the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in the Sonic movies. But yeah, he's also, by the way, Ben Schwartz is kind of has game. That guy of him at the Garden right before a Knicks game, and dude had some handles. He was like knocking out jumpers all over the court. So that was an interesting clip too. So shout out to Ben Schwartz for being a good basketball player too. It seems like. But yeah, that was like he did great. It was fun. Like the movie overall is easy to understand, easy to it's a good flow to the movie. There's not like confusing parts. Like, wait, why is this happening? Uh, so yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely, I would recommend to go watch it. No kids shouldn't see this. Like, I mean, depending on how tolerant your kid is of gore. I mean, every kid is different, and some parents are pretty liberal on letting their kids watch certain things. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of gore in here, even though it's not supposed even though it's not a horror movie. It is a comedy. It's like a dark comedy, if you will. I guess dark comedy is the right term. I don't know. But yeah, fun movie. Enjoyed it very much. Any other thoughts that you have? I don't know if you had any clip or scenes or images, still frames of the movie that you wanted to comment on?
No, that's it. Did you stay for any post credits? Because I did not. I don't know if there was any.
No, it was not. So I always Google. So I Googled it. Is there a post credit scene? It's like, nope, you don't need to stick around. No post credit scene. So there was nothing there. So I wrapped up and beelined out of there. Another big benefit for people who are pro short movies, only runtime is hour and 33 minutes. That's
That's
another
right.
big
Yeah.
benefit. So if you do want to go out on a night in the out somewhere on a Saturday night, something to do, catch a movie, dinner, short movie, eat your dinner, be home in a couple hours, like 3 hours probably.
Yeah, this
Uh
is a
yeah,
one of a great movies for one of those like on the whim. Hey, you want to go to the movie theater and see something? Yeah, what's playing? I don't know. Let's look. And then if you have no idea, this would be one of those movies that would be really good to see if you just wanted to just pop in and watch something real quick. Because other than that, I mean, that I guess you can watch Super Mario again. Give them
yeah,
because they're approaching $1 billion. So I guess you can
yeah.
do that too. But yeah, this
And the
they're again
critics
both of those.
critics can't and the critics can't handle it. Super Mario Brothers is doing great, and to the critics, to no credit of the critics who hated the movie.
But yeah, I
uh,
think both movies are great, and I really are right now those are my two favorite movies so far of 2023. But we'll see. We have a busy ass year in terms of movies with Guardians, into Across the Spider Verse, the Transformers movie, the Turtles movie, Indiana Jones. What else is coming out? Some more stuff. The Marvels.
is it
And
Transformers?
yes, the Transformers, and that's just like most of that just coming out in June. So yeah,
Well, the
but
only
yeah.
thing I didn't like about my experience at the movies for this was the trailers were all terrible for me. Like, I think there was one trailer, and it was the Transformer ones that I liked, but like, I mean, I've seen that plenty of times. The rest were just like these really bad movies. It's like, what are they showing me right now? These are like terrible movies
Did you see
that
the
I
one with
don't.
the Ben Affleck?
Oh, Ben Affleck. Okay, that was like the only A-list character actor, but the rest were like these random ones. I mean, there was that Mark Hamill one. I don't know what the hell was
Oh yeah, that one,
like
that
the
weird, the was the machine.
yeah, like the lead in that movie. And like I have no clue who that is. Like I've never
That's the
heard that
actual.
person and
I mean, I
seen
don't
that
know if
person.
it's actually a real life story, but he's supposed to be the real life version or the real person.
Okay.
That's actually the lead. I don't know if it's actually a real story or not.
Oh,
Like
okay.
part of me like thinks that movie is going to be trash, but then can't help but can't. I have to acknowledge that I laughed during the trailer and it was like, okay, it's just a silly, stupid movie. I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to see it in theaters. So if it
Fair.
like pops on Netflix, I would watch it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. The trailers were kind of disappointing just because I was like, I always wanted to see something cool, and I was kind of disappointed in that. But yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, Renfield, check it out. worth watching. That's all I got. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up here? As we wrap up here,
You know what I forgot? I wanted to really quick throw in some other ones. I had this. So we already talked about Adam Driver, but the Netflix series The Sandman, which came out last year, season 2 has already been written, according to creator Neil Gaiman, and that they're casting for episode 1 very soon. So I don't think we're going to see season 2 this year, but it'll be either early next year, maybe next summer or something like that. But they're working on it, so that's all I care about. And Mortal Kombat, the movie, the most recent Mortal Kombat movie came out in 2021, I think, off the top of my head. And it is rumored that Mortal Kombat 2 will start filming in June. So they are working on another movie that'll hopefully be better than the last one, because that one was a little disappointing, even though visually it had a lot going on for it. But other than that, it was just, this isn't what we want. So hopefully Mortal Kombat 2 will give us what we want. But other than that, that is all that I got.
all right. So yeah, that's a wrap for today. Please check out any of our past previous shows that you may have missed. If obviously we cover, you can catch us on the Barroom Network under the YouTube and any major or minor podcast platforms on the audio side. Also, check out all our shows the Barroom has to offer covering various Chicago sports. And yeah, that's it tonight. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Thank you.